Two Queers and a Truck. And I'm Billy James Gunn, and my sidekick, Christian Cano, partner with Gunn, is coming up next.
Hey everyone, I'm Jim's sidekick. Welcome to Two Queers in a Truck. Hi y'all.
See you soon. Good morning, everybody. It is Two Queers in a Truck time, and it is April 15th, which is always an ominous day for a lot of people. Tax-wise, if you procrastinated and didn't do your taxes until the last minute, or B, you're waiting because you have to pay, and you don't want to send that check until the very last minute.
Yeah, that's right.
Or
get an extension.
You're floating the government's money, and you might as well. They float us all the time, borrow from Social Security and never pay it back, things like that. And wondering why the Social Security is always short money. Anyway, it has been an interesting April and an interesting March. One of the most interesting stories to me, and I'm using that a lot, is Kristi Noem's husband. And you can't start Two Queers without doing
exactly.
a very notable. The former Ice Barbie that's now, I don't even know what her job. I know she's the assistant to the assistant of something.
Yeah, she's like the greeter at Walmart or something now, right?
Yeah,
I
didn't know she's that high in the deal. I think they just basically gave her a salary and just sent her into an office and just said, just be gone,
Yeah.
And I know she's living on a military base right now for her protection, supposedly.
From what?
I guess all the threats that she's getting, and that's what they've connived, at least.
From balloons?
It's always funny how Nazis hide in bunkers.
Yeah.
It's like the real brave, strutting around and all that. And then all of a sudden you find out Pete Cakestand, Pete Cakestand's living in the same military base. Like a whole bunch of his dumpsters cabinet is hiding out on this military base outside of DC, and you just go, you guys really are. Most bullies are cowards, but these guys take the cake. But Kristi Noem's husband, of course, the pictures that got leaked from a fetish members only website got leaked. That he likes to basically cross-dress, sissify himself, put really big rubber breasts on, the whole 9 yards. Probably some kind of gender queer egg that just hasn't hatched yet, or maybe will never hatch. But a lot of these Republican men are queer. They're down low queer. They either down low gay by, it keeps reinforcing that theory. And I know when I've lived in more conservative areas, the swingers clubs, the sex clubs, the gay bars are full. They're full, and it's a ton of MAGA types, churchy types. These people are driven by sex. I mean, and sexuality and kink and all that. And they just want it for themselves. They always want to preach, hey, what y'all doing this? And then they're gobbling cock, off the screen like crazy. like they're eating a hot dog eating contest. But to commemorate Kristi Noem's husband and his recent forced outing into the real world, the District Eagle in Washington, D.C., if y'all don't know what the Eagle is,
I know what that is.
Yeah, wow. You've been there.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, some say.
At a bimbofication kink night
Oh,
and
wow.
had told people that the dress code is fake boobs and hot pants. And they had $7 cherry bomb bimbo fizzes, and basically mocked him, mocked him or mocked them,
Yeah.
and had a fetish kink night where you wore your biggest blondest bimbo outfit that you could, and in honor of Christy Noem's husband. And they may hide in a bunker, but they can't hide from the gayness and the drama. And and on top of it, Christy Noem was asking for, you know, of all people, asked for like privacy and
Yeah.
peace in this matter when this first broke. And I'm like, all the fuck the gays will, like, we're gonna carpet bomb them, like Trump does with Iran. And of course we're gonna come at him. Of course we're
Yeah.
gonna come at the whole family, because look at the shit she's done, and both as the
Exactly.
governor in South Dakota and as Ice Barbie. They're horrific people, and he deserves to be razzed, considering how many anti-LGBT and anti-trans things South Dakota passed while she was governor.
Hmm.
And that whole political movement, the whole political Nazi party, it just was railed on queer people, especially trans. I think there's like been 2,000 bills against the trans community in between 2025 and 2026. It's just an onslaught. It's a Gatling gun. And then again, you see another Republican sissy.
Yeah.
You know, we saw Madison Cawthorn. And I don't have a problem. I'm not shaming his kink at all. In fact, I think it's healthy for to explore stuff. What I'm pissed off about is that when a progressive or a non-MAGA person does it, they come at us. They're not just coming at us with, shame, 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 you should go to church. They're coming at us with, modifications to the Olympics, to the just trying to eliminate marriage equality. They're coming at us to destroy our lives, to alter our lives, to make it hard, immeasurably hard. That's what pisses me off. So if this guy's going to get razzed a little bit, if Christy Noem's going to get a bunch of fucking cat calls over this, so be it. Tough shit. We put up with this on the daily our entire lives. We have to actually come out. Straight people don't even have to come out. They just accept that it's normal for you to be straight. Queer people have to come out. They have to go through the process of letting the world, hey, I'm different. On top of being different, you've got to tell people you're different, which is insane. That tells you how little acceptance we really have for us to have to come out. Instead of just saying, hey, that's normal. Hey, Bob loves Pete. Boom. It just normalize what we are, because it is normal. It's part of human sexuality, and it's always been here. Queerness has always been here. It's documented in Rome. It's et cetera, et cetera. There's not any. This is not abnormal. What's abnormal is putting up with uh, the whole bullshit that we have to go through extra steps to exist. That we have to put up with the racial shit. We have to put up with the fucking Reagans and all the psychopaths. Speaking of psychopaths and queers, Caitlyn Jenner, good old Kate, is suing her late down low trans girlfriend Sophia Hutchins' estate.
Oh.
If you remember that Sophia Hutchins, I think she was driving an ATV near Caitlyn's Malibu home. And for y'all that don't know geography very well of California, Malibu's on the ocean, but it's right on the mountain slope. It's like it's very there are lots of cliffs, mountains. So if you live up on the mountain a little bit looking down, there's a lot of steep drops. Even the road that's coming through the Santa Monica Mountains, going towards Malibu is very, very steep. It's a very treacherous area. A lot of mudslides during the fires a year ago. A lot of mudslides and things because we had fires, and then in the burn zones there was a ton of rain after that, and just a lot of it was rough. It shut down a lot of the Pacific Coast Highway for a while. Anyway, so come to find out, Caitlyn Jenner's girlfriend or whatever she was, Caitlyn Jenner said it was his girlfriend, her girlfriend. Sophia said they weren't really in a relationship, so who knows what was going on there. But Sophia Hutchins' estate is what Caitlyn Jenner is suing, and it's for $439,000 and some change, basically $450,000, and she was also Caitlyn's business manager and had access to Caitlyn's credit cards, a whole bunch of other things, and paid herself back on some things that Caitlyn disagreed with, et cetera, et cetera. And then mysteriously she dies. Winky face. And now I guess I don't know if she's suing like insurance policies or maybe she had assets. I don't really know what Sophia Hutchins' financial status was. Obviously, if she was pilfering Caitlyn, she may not have had that much money. It may have been a sugar baby, sugar mama type situation. I'm not. It seemed very transactional, even when the relationship was going on. It was a very weird thing. But then Caitlyn Jenner's, she beats to a different drummer, that's for sure. It is pretty much shunned from the trans community because she's a sellout. She's a Nazi MAGA, and and on top of being a disappointment in every way, shape, and form. So it's not shocking that somebody that has plenty of money would go after somebody's estate like that. Class, but it's very bizarre. I guess that group of people, it does get over on each other a lot. Like, I mean, it kind of ties into the first story. I'm 99% sure the Republicans keep files on everybody that's involved with the Republican Party. And since Kristi Noem is kind of out of the picture, might as well create a story.
So who do you think leaked it? Who do you think leaked it? That's the big thing everyone's asking.
The Republican Party.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they claim it was somebody that he had contact with on that fetish site.
Yeah.
But it was probably a Republican bot. Most likely. They keep tabs on everybody, and they keep little files. Look at Madison Cawthorn. And so same thing. I mean, they keep files on everybody. They're very much a J. Edgar Hoover type board. But anyway, we are up against our first break, and we'll be back with some more Two Queers in a Truck right after these important messages. Hey, everybody, you can catch us on your favorite audio podcast platform, Spotify, and all Apple Store, the Google machine, and whoever else does podcasts. We're on there. We broke in, and we're staying. So enjoy the Two Queers in a Truck on your favorite audio podcast platform. Thanks for listening or watching. Bye-bye. Happy Pride.
Hi, this is Urance Pascual Mateo. I am back. Spadicare is back in 2026, and yes, my hiatus was sad, and it was caused by a bunch of, butthurt losers. But I'm not gonna say that. Don't worry, I'm here. I'm gonna be annoying. I'm gonna say fuck fascism, and I'm gonna stand up against this shit. So please, like, subscribe, enjoy my show, and let's fight against the bullshit that we continue to live with.
Hey y'all, thanks for listening to Two Queers in a Truck. And we do broadcast on YouTube and Facebook in a video version. And we're also on all the audio platforms out there. So your favorite way to listen to your podcast. We've been doing this for a couple years and we appreciate y'all listening. We know you have a ton of choices, even though we may be the best choice. We always appreciate our listeners and we'll try to bring you quality in the future. Thanks for listening. As always, Christian and Jenny, we're out. Thank y'all. We are back.
Got to go. Christine Ohm is a bird-legged hoe. Christine Ohm is a bird-legged hoe. Christine Ohm is a
Oh, you're muted. But
Sorry, I had to play that one for you.
oh yeah, that was a good one. It was actually pretty fitting. It's these people. I mean, the jokes write themselves now. I mean, they've literally gotten to the point where, gosh, you don't even have to make stuff up. You don't even have to freaking exaggerate anything anymore. They've become a walking, talking parody of themselves. I mean, they literally, this whole stuff, this anti-trans stuff, all this stuff is just nuts. And, the recent ruling is a proof of it. The IOC is now going to this genetic testing to figure out if somebody's trans or not, even though if somebody was trans, they obviously would come out, wherever they live in the world. The reality is nobody in no society is allowed just to be themselves. And this is the human existence, is that nowhere, we may be accepted in some countries more than others, but we all have to come out worldwide, and especially as trans. And I stress this because for the straight people that listen to the show or think, they don't think about the fact that in order for us to live our lives publicly, we have to come out. And so this new genetic testing that actually is going to hurt cis women way worse than trans women. Because there is a lot of genetic anomalies when you're talking about this type of test. And they've used it before and they stopped using it because of the problems. Because when you start getting into different, like intersex and things of that nature, they could still have been born with the right plumbing, but still be intersex or a lot of other variances that this test is not going to account for. And there's going to be what people assume is biological women. They're going to get caught up in this testing, the way they do it. And the reason why it's not used by any athletic governing boards anymore is because, one, it's not needed. It's an unnecessary test. And two, it's not accurate. And so who's going to get screwed again because of misogyny is cis women. The few trans athletes out there that would make it to the Olympics, which the United States has never sent a trans female to the Olympics. In the 20 years that it was legal for a trans woman, as long as she went by certain guidelines to go, there was one trans athlete from New Zealand about 8 years ago or 4 years ago, whatever. I think it was the 2020 Olympics, I believe. There was a power lifter, and she didn't even finish. And at the time that she withdrew because of an injury, she was 15th. And there's not a 15th place medal.
Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons that Megan Rapinoe and Sue Bird have spoke out against this, is that they said limiting the scope of biological women, eliminating trans women, there's a broadness of biological women is what they're trying to say. And they go, one, let them compete. Two, Megan and Sue both understand that this is misogyny disguised as protecting women. As always.
Yeah.
Just like with the bathroom bills, the Republicans wanting to set up genital searches and bathroom police. It's just based down to their fetishes. Look at Christy Noem's husband. That's what's residing in their mind. Their own fetishes are being outed and obsessions about genitalia. They're obsessed with trans adult films and queer adult films. They're obsessed with genitalia. Just look at the Pornhub's map of what is popular in certain parts of the country, and look at the red states.
Yeah.
It's very genitalia and queer focused. And not that there's anything wrong with it. That's not even that's not even the point I'm making. But if you think about it all the time, and think about how obsessed they are with us. They are obsessed with queers. They rush to every little queer blog on Facebook and Instagram.
And shows.
Yeah. Yeah, they're obsessed with the show.
Exactly.
They're obsessed with the show.
Uh,
We get so much MAGA and conservative Christian nut jobs saying the nuttiest things, and they're obsessed with us. And I don't even think about their tractor pulls, taffy pulls, MAGA Nazi rallies. I don't even go to their sites.
brother sister reunions.
I don't want to see what they talk about. Everything I pull about them is from an independent source or a progressive side. I don't want to read their crap that they write in their own silos. I don't want to have I'm not going to agree with them. I'm only going to get in verbal tussles with them. And it's not worth it to me. I'm not a keyboard warrior. I don't sit there and really worry about what they say on their sides. And the only way I interact with them is if they're on a progressive site. And I'm going, why are y'all so obsessed with us? Why are you so obsessed with it? It's because they think about us all the time, all the time. And because a lot of them are download cock gobblers. They're fucking obsessed with the eggplant.
What is that? What was it? Hold on.
They're just like they open up the refrigerator door like that
Cock
one
gobblers.
meme.
All right, I got it.
They're like stuffing wieners in their mouth.
Cock gobblers. I like that one. I'm going to write that one down. That's a new one. I know you've said it before.
Yep. They're obsessed
gobblers.
with it. They're obsessed with penises. In 2024, if we remember back, and I got reminded of this the other day, Don Staley, the coach of South Carolina's team that made it to the championship round in women's college basketball.
Yeah.
During that week, during the championship week before they were going, Don Staley, because again, we've been talking about trans athletes for so long that this happened 2 years ago about this time of year. That's why the story came back up. Said trans women should be able to play. She said it doesn't even matter. She said they're not going to be any. There's no reason for them not to play. She just bottom line it. She didn't even give the reasons why. She just said they should be able to play. That's it. End of story. And she said I'm gonna get a lot of flack over it, and she did. But she just flat out said they should be able to play. I'd love to see them play. Because this is common sense. Just let them play. These young women and girls, these trans girls, they should be able to play. Just let them play. And it's just the bottom line. There's not going to be enough of them to make a difference. It really isn't. Because if we were so dominant physically, then why are they kicking trans people out of the military? What would be the logic if we were terminating soldiers? Why get rid of us then? isn't the design of the military to kill and break things? So if we were that physically dominant, it's illogical to do that. What this really comes down to is bigotry. Just straight up. It's bigotry. They feel threatened. They're also attracted to us. And they just don't know how to process their feelings in their tiny, feeble little brains. And it's easy to punch down on a very small minority because there's not much consequence. The general queer community at large has not really done a good job of defending us. The Democrats have done a terrible job. They've pretty much sat out all of it. We're not a minority according to the general population worth defending. Most people appreciate us, love us, but they're not going to go out of their way to protect the trans community. We've been on our own a long time. It's been very clear what the general public, how the general public, like, we've been under attack pretty much since that first bathroom bill in 2015, 2016. It's been over 10 years now where they've specifically targeted us and tried to shut down any part of our public life. Make it illegal for us to go to a bathroom, make it illegal for us to play a sport. Like it's just been an incessant amount of attacks. So we're already used to it. We know we're on our own. We know the no matter. And we'll be right back with some more Two Queers on Track after these important messages. We are back. But the trans community knows we're on our own. For when we're talking about the general population, do we have allies? Of course we do. But we know in general the political parties don't care. The Democrats don't really they don't do a job at all of protecting us. They haven't. They won't. We're lucky we don't have we have Democrats that have spoken out against us. And it's shameful, but it's our reality. And to prove this point, the World Pro Billiards and Snooker Association, I didn't really know there was a thing, banned trans competitors from playing in snooker tournaments worldwide. Hey y'all, this is Jetty with Two Queers in a Truck and Christian's along with me. And we're just having fun, and we're looking forward to the 2025 season, and super excited. We have some neat things going on in our whole family of shows, including Coffee and Pan Dulce, and many new shows that are brewing. Get it, and we are excited for 2025 and all the chicanery and other things that comes with it. So happy New Year, and we'll see you on the flip side. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Bye, boo.
Bye, boo.
Hi, everybody. This is Yorense from the Americo show over here. All I'm here is doing a little quick PSA. Use this summer to do volunteer work. Go to your nearest YMCA. Go to your nearest homeless shelter. Go to whatever community services or programs that you can help out and volunteer. Because right now, we have a bunch of fascist pieces of shit trying to rip apart our country and rip apart the people, our communities, by spreading hate and bigotry. The best way to combat it is, one, working in your community and standing strong to show that you are strong and you're here to help out others. Two, combat misinformation. If you hear bullshit, first research and make sure if it's true or not. If it is not true, call it out. If it is true, get the facts. Be knowledgeable of it because it might come out later. So always stand against that. And three, fuck fascists. Stand against them. Make them feel uncomfortable. There is too many people out there feeling like they can say the hard R or say slurs or be violent. Make them understand that a lot of people die to make sure this hatred and bigotry does not exist. All our civil rights workers, all the people who restored normity, everybody who fought against intolerance and hatred, they died and worked their asses off to stop this. So follow in their footsteps and stop this madness. This is Yorense again from Americo, and all I can say is be there for your community and stand up for what's right. Fuck fascism and have a wonderful day.
What's a snooker?
A snooker is a smaller pool table.
Oh, I thought that was like a girl from the Jersey Shore or something.
Snooker. That's Snooki. I don't think they can ban trans
All right,
people from
yeah.
playing with her.
All right, well.
That's probably has to come down to her consent. Yeah, the Snooki may play snooker. I don't know. That would be an interesting poem. There once was a lady from Venus, and but anyway, to prove how it's become trendy to punch down on the trans community, some old snarled up cis woman bitch, I think it was 3 years ago. In fact, I think we talked about it on the show then. I think it was an Irish or Scottish tournament, and a trans woman was playing in that tournament, and she refused to play against her. So it was a bracketized thing, and she drew the trans woman. Now I've played pool, and I've played snooker, and I've played all the little tabletop games. In fact, my parents, we had a pool table in our house from kindergarten until I graduated high school. They're anybody can play pool.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't require like a special
No, you could be
arm
fat.
strength or anything, right? I mean,
No,
it's all geometry or what is it? Isn't
yeah,
it like
angles.
yeah, exactly.
Hand-eye coordination, but it has nothing to do with muscularness, lung development, bone structure, fat people, short people, tall people, every shape and size, any gender, any sexuality can play pool. Just takes practice. It's a hand-eye. I don't even know if you want to call it a sport, but I guess it's considered a sport. But it doesn't take any athleticism. Like, you're not running around the pool table 100 times during a match. You're not doing push-ups in between the shots. Like, this doesn't take any strength or conditioning. It just takes you being able to aim that cue stick towards whatever balls you're hitting, and you're bouncing a bunch of little round ceramic or whatever they're made out of into usually pockets. But it's not like I'm surprised they even have gender breakdowns anyway. But we'll just blanketly ban trans people because they're not worth messing with. And there's probably only 5 or 6 worldwide that even play. But it's just shitty that we got pushed out of an association that we barely affect. It's not like there's a ton of trans champion pool players and snooker players. I'm sure we're not running the tables anywhere. And I've played probably a couple thousand games of pool in my lifetime. And in no way, shape, or form does your gender presentation or your gender identity give you an advantage in pool. I assure you, I've played in pool tournaments as myself now and before I transitioned. And I didn't get better. I didn't get worse. I stayed about the same. Because it has nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with your ability to play pool or snooker. But that tells you the current climate that we live in. And this is why this MAGA attack on trans people is so insidious. Is that we got banned for shits and giggles. Because one cunt complained about us 3 years ago at an obsolete tournament that nobody even knows about. And it's because of this hysteria, this bitch didn't want to play against a trans competitor. And for no other reason. No other reason. If the hysteria wouldn't be whipped up by third-rate children's authors and mouth breathers and inbreeds, we wouldn't have to face this. And it takes small-minded simpletons to pitch a bitch, and this is really what it comes down to, is this red meat for the masses of asses that are stupid. Because it's easy. It's harmless. It is designed to hurt all women and keep all women in their place. And this is the worst part. When cis women choose a side against trans women, they don't realize they're hurting themselves. They're weakening the societal standing of all women by attacking any woman. That's the worst part. And that's how insidious and internalized misogyny really is. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that will go with the trend, especially on the side of the MAGA, because they're so stupid and they're so brainwashed, usually by religion, that they pitch a bitch. When they don't really know what they're bitching about, they don't even know what they're objecting to. They have no clue, they have no stats, they have no proof. There's no reason to ban us out of society other than we're an easy, safe target because we're half of 1% of the population. We're trans women are 1 out of 400 women. That includes all of us that aren't out of the closet. Our incidence rate is 1 out of 400. Total. We are a minuscule, non-effective minority. There's 1.5 million of us total in a country of 350 million people. Just in the United States. We're a thumbnail against the whole body of the United States. We pose no threat to anybody individually, at any sport, in many sporting venues. We've been eligible to play for the last 20 years, pretty much, up until the last couple. You remember all those gold medals we won? We didn't. Remember all the national championships in individual sports we won? We didn't win a single fucking one. Not on the high school level, not on the collegiate level. It never happened. Look at all the dominant trans women that play in the WNBA. There isn't any. They never existed. There was a boogeyman. It was a fart in a windstorm. And that's the insidious part of misogyny. That is the crux of what they want to accomplish. This is what they want to achieve. Is they want us to pick each other apart. They want us to fail each other. They want us to not have common sense. And for people to sit down and do basic math and go, that doesn't make sense. I don't remember them ever being problematic. And isn't it sad that a minority of a minority, if we do happen to win a tournament, we're going to be booed? That's the cruel reality. If we happen to have one outlier accomplish one thing one time out of the hundreds of thousands of sporting events and pastime events, if we do have a winner, we're going to be ripped apart anyway. We're damned if we do, damned if we don't. We're fucked no matter what. And that's why a Caitlyn Jenner hurts so much. That's why we suffer so much. Why it feels like we're pushing a boulder up a mountain both ways. Is because we haven't won a fucking thing and we're still being ripped apart. There isn't tons of stories of trans women beating up cis women in bathrooms. It just didn't even exist. The incident rate is so negligible, the FBI didn't even track the statistics on it because it doesn't happen. Now, cis men assaulting cis women is a different story. a way different story. And we all know Trump and little girls. We know that exists. The threat to cis girls and cis women are men, cis men, predominantly straight cis men. And that's where the misogyny is coming from. That's where the assaults are coming from. That's where the majority of the cruelty against women come from, like 99.999%. And if you want to point a finger at something, point it at that. Fuck, leave us the fuck alone. You don't have to ban us from anything. We self-ban. There's not enough of us to make a difference or make an impact in any one thing. It's mathematically and statistically impossible. In fact, it's more trans boys and trans men that were assigned female at birth that go into sport deal because they're usually kind of butch lesbians before they come out as trans men. The Peppermint Patty types that play football with Charlie Brown. That sort of thing, like it's usually not, they're playing soccer and softball and things like that. The one instance that I can think of a trans person dominating sports was a trans boy in Texas that won back-to-back girls wrestling championships because they wouldn't let him wrestle the boys. And he whipsawed the back-to-back state wrestling championships in his weight class because he's all hopped up on team. He's strong as hell for his weight class. And obliterated, never lost a match in 2 years. And petitioned both years at the beginning of the school year to wrestle the boys. And they said, no, you're going to wrestle the girls. You were born with a vagina. You got to wrestle the girls. Now, granted, the vagina and the genitalia is not what's doing the wrestling. It's the arms and the legs and the body strength, which is hopped up on T, but because it was legal for him to be on testosterone because they're transitioning. This is what these bills and these bans do, is they force trans boys and trans men into competitions with cis women that are not hopped up on T. It's going to put bearded men into women's spaces. And this is what these geniuses, well, they don't care. Actually, they do probably think it's funny. They'd rather see a bearded man go into a women's locker room. Because they don't care if it hurts cis women. That's the thing. They're not protecting cis women. They're doing this for misogyny, cruelty, and dominance. And distraction from whatever fuckery, whatever pedophile island they're running or whatever scam any of their Fonz and Noons and their group are doing, stealing money, whatever. But how this has affected the LGBT community is it's green-lighted them coming back after marriage equality. South Carolina is back at it. They're proposing a bill that'll probably pass, and the governor's probably going to sign it, banning marriage equality in South Carolina, stating religious freedom. See, guys, when you ignore the human rights of one group of queers, like the general queer community has for so long, especially the Democrats, guess what happened? They're back at it. And the same arguments they use against trans people, they're now going to use against marriage equality. They test market it until they figured out what the Supreme Court would pass. Because this will go to the Supreme Court ultimately. And they're going to ban marriage equality in South Carolina. And then eventually, what it's designed to go after is to disintegrate the Obergefell rule. They're going to try to overturn the Obergefell rule. And they're probably going to do it. They've very much written this bill to very carefully used the same arguments that the cake baker in Colorado used and many other attacks, the successful defenses of basically stripping the human rights away from trans people. Because good people look the other way. That's what happened in Nazi Germany. It wasn't the bad people overrunning the good people because good people were in the majority. It's when good people look the other way and go, hey, at least it's not me this time. And the general LGBT advocacy groups did not do enough. The Democrats definitely did not do enough. And we didn't use our consistency to defend members of the queer community because nobody could be bothered with a small minority of it. And this is the result. They protect and craft a message that's going to cost us marriage equality. It's going away. Because this was the ultimate goal. This is why they started attacking the trans community, because they couldn't attack the gay community anymore because marriage equality became the high law of the land. Well, guess what? They got overfilled in the crosshairs, and they're probably going to win. And that national bill they passed had so many loopholes. This one tanks out too. And so there'll probably be some individual states that will still honor it, but all the MAGA states won't. And so it's going to cause a shitstorm of problems because that's what they want to do. They ultimately just want to hurt the queer community because we typically don't vote for MAGAs, and there's a reason why. Because one, most of us aren't stupid. Some of us are, but most of us aren't. I mean, that's the truth. And the second of all, it's a way of causing battles and distractions from all the fuckery they're really doing. But that's all I have for this week. And we will see you next week. And it'll be almost the end of April. Pretty dang close. So we're going to dance on out. And we'll see you next week.
Christy Nome is a bird-legged hoe. Oh, Christy Nome is a bird-legged hoe. That hoe has got to go.
Hey y'all, thanks for watching Two Queers in the Truck. And as always, it's spring fever. We are barreling in the summer. The time change has already happened. It is going to get warmer outside, so pace yourself, and as always, drink plenty of water, wear hats, especially you few MAGA listeners out there. You need to save all the brain cells you got. But anyway, we'll see y'all next week, and as always, we're thankful for y'all's participation in this great experiment we're doing. Bye y'all.
Bye y'all. Bye boo. There we go. Okay, we'll just talk very briefly for about 4 minutes about how did we get here. Maybe social media?
Yeah.
You want to talk? Okay. All right.
We can.
I'm just going to ask one question about the voting suppression, just to hear. I'm going to kind of surprise you with this question. You ready? All right, here we go. This is really a good topic, Gersemi. So I'm just going to divide this into 2 shows because we've already gone way over. It'll be part 1 and part 2.
Yeah.
So, okay. So we're going to come back. All right, Gersemi, we're just going to close it. Like I said, I'm going to cut this into 2 segments, 30-minute segments. All right. All right. Thanks.
And this is the Jenny Award.
And this is the Pendejo Chronicles.